Hello and welcome to Jumble Lane Model Railway. Today I'm going to show you how I made this retaining wall. The retaining wall is for this area here to hide this gap between the main baseboard and the raised part of the track. What I don't want to do is make something that's permanent that I can't get to this wiring underneath here. This is the connections for the surface point motors on the raised part. So what I don't want to do is to lock it in with a bit of scenery and not be able to get to it in case there's a fault or a problem and I need to get to the wiring. So what I thought of is some form of retaining wall, something that's going to be sort of in keeping. I did build just to the left of that the courthouse station, and what I wanted to do was to get something that matches the brickwork at the bottom. So I've come up with this idea, and the problem with that is that these papers, brick papers, come in A4 size, and what I did want to do is have a load of joins. So basically I've downloaded the brick paper texture again, and then I've put it onto my computer as a file rather than a scan, and enlarged the image without, or shall I put it a different way, I've made a bigger image on the screen but kept the size of the bricks themselves. So I've just basically took what's there and added more of it. It's difficult to explain, it's probably easy to show you on the screen, but I've ended up printing out a 2 foot wide sheet of it. There is a join, it is here, but that will be hidden. So it's just in 2 pieces at the moment, and I'll go through shortly how I've actually constructed it. Basically, this will sit in this curve, and it will be held back tight by some buildings, so it will just slip behind some buildings or something that's in front of it, just to keep it tight and in place. Right, so how did I go about making this retaining wall? Well, to start with, this is the piece of vinyl, not this piece, but I printed it in a 2 foot wide sheet, and it was about ½ a metre long. I'll get a small piece just to show you. And basically it's basically self-adhesive, and it's a vinyl, and it prints and it's waterproof within reason. And basically in this case I actually mounted it on just thin card. I have done 2 layers of this card. I cut them to a length and overlapped them so they joined, overlapped until I got the length that I wanted. I have in the past used this mount board, which is a bit more rigid than the card and it is thicker. It's like a hard paper with a polystyrene inside, and you get that from people like the hobby shop. So that is ideal for this sort of construction. So basically what I did, I've got whatever card I've got, and I'll just cut a piece of this just to show you how it goes on. And basically it will wrap around wherever it is and sticks quite nicely. So that's formed the main wall, the brick wall. Now the brick piers I've cut out of balsa wood. I worked out what shape I wanted on paper, and just some 10mm thick balsa wood, and just cut it to the shape, and then basically I got a piece of vinyl, what I did do, I actually did a time-lapse video of making these and the wall itself, but when I come to put the video in my PC to edit the video, I found that the card was corrupt, so I lost all of that. So I'll just go through on this video how I actually made these brick piers. I laid balsa wood piece as square as I could imagine it would be. Bearing in mind you can't see the print from the other side, but knowing I'd cut it vertical, that should be in line quite nicely. So I started there like that, and then I folded that, and then cut away what won't be needed, and then just folded that back like that, and the same. Always get my hands in the way of the camera, so I'm hoping that this time I've got it the right way around. That's the front. Just to work out where you're going to do the cuts, don't just go willy-nilly doing the cuts, because you find that you've just cut something away that you're going to need. and then basically fold that flat like so. It did take a few goes at working out which one had to be cut where, so you don't see the joins. If you do see the joins, that's as neat as possible. Just trying to imagine where the paper will end up when you have cut it. I'm lucky to have the large format printer to do this, and I appreciate a lot of people haven't got that. So there is one brick pier, and if I just go and get, that's where it sits on the wall like that. These steel plate sort of girder things are sitting in between these, and these are finally cut to the exact length once they're fitted. And what I've done, I've glued the first one on, then glued this to the edge and the top of the wall, and then fitted the next one and just continued along, and that's how they fit. So that is the wall, and that is the brick pier. The next part is the I'll put them somewhere. The plated steel bridge parts, and this is where I've got another machine called a Cricut machine, which you can design your making in card and cut it out on a mat. I have used this before and had a video showing how I did these type of platform canopies. Taking off this way, it just stops them from bending. You can see all the cutouts are left on the board. So basically we've got the front part and the back part, and all you do is you glue one on top of the other, and that gives an effect of the steel plated bridge parts. And it takes a few seconds for the card glue to dry. Once it's dry, I gave it a brush over with some grey acrylic paint on the front. I let it dry, then on the back, and once that had dried, I got some black watery, watered down so it's like a wash, and then just brush the vertical lines, and on that you get a bit of effect that you see on there, and that's basically all that's involved in doing it. You've got the back of it, which is that, unless you're actually sat right in the corner of the layout and you are behind this, you won't see this wall, so I don't need to be too neat with it, and anything below the top of the wall you won't see anyway, so all this is hidden. So that's basically the finished wall. As far as the plates are concerned, I do have a printing outlet called Jumble Lane Printing, and I do make these, and they are available. They're only about £1.50 a sheet, with about 6 of these. You have to make 6. Although I can make them to a specific size and design, whatever you want, so those are available. Well, I hope to get my time-lapse video working, and what I'll do is when I fit the scenery around the wall, I'll do a time-lapse video and show you how it all comes together. So until then, goodbye and thank you.